Hello everybody and welcome to F1 Superstars. This is, it's almost a kart racer. It's not quite, but it's halfway between the F1 that you know and the Mario Kart that you love. Slight bit of bias maybe there for me. But it's a new game from Codemasters that is actually, for once, exploiting F1 in a way that I can get behind. As you can see from Mark Webber's very chiselled jaw, that he's gone very cartoony. Let's have a quick look else we've got. It's the new world champion, looking very smug. Button, bit of Hamilton there. Even the very clean-shaven Schumacher seems to be listening to his own iPod there. But each driver on the grid has been given a bit of a cartoony makeover and slotted in to their own little cars. You can see his nice little dinky Red Bull behind us. So a quick, short races we can quickly take you to. Let's pop straight into the European Grand Prix. As you can see, it's very much like most other casual kart races, but they're 3 different difficulty levels, except this time it's all based around the world of F1, so the various tracks on offer, they're all stylised around the different countries that the tour goes to. So in this case, Bernie Ecclestone's taking us to Italy, but this isn't, is it Monza? This isn't the Monza that you might recognise off the telly. This is a very unique version. It's very cliche. It's one of my favourite bits where it's one of the nicer starting intros, I think, to a race. Here we go, this is get down to business. Go! As you can tell probably from that alone, this isn't your traditional F1. Oh, great start. The pressure of being watched. This isn't your traditional F1. There's slipstreaming, there's power-ups. We've got here, we've got some sort of metal wheels. Boost. Yeah, it's very frantic, at least for the early stages. Let's just take in the scenery. Around the Colosseum, we've got some bubbles. So yeah, we've got some power-ups. There goes the route to the bullet bill. I think it's far too easy to keep comparing it to Mario Kart, but it's what everyone knows and loves, so why not keep doing it for safety's sake? There goes my red shell. Although it is a red nibble. Yeah, the power-ups are probably the most contentious thing I think in here for me, because it just seemed a bit bland. Fair enough, you got your boosts and what have you, but half of them, as you might be able to see here, just come down to bubbles. Different colours do different things. So the red ones are heat-seeking, the yellow ones just fire away randomly. There are some blue ones that you can leave behind as traps, but they're all just giant, colourful spheres that trap people for a short amount of time. Seems a distinct lack of imagination, as balloons at least, but yeah. Considering how much effort's gone into making everything else look very stylised and quite unique, taking it as far away from the real world of F1 as can be, it just seems like someone left in some initial debug. They thought, let's just put these as placeholders, and they stayed. There's me got. As you can see, when you do get got, there's your car tends to fall apart. This isn't quite the realistic simulation though that you get from the other Codemasters games. You tend to lose a bit of speed. There's a couple of levels, but a simple trip through the pits there. If I can just sadly lacking in pace. Yeah, a quick trip to the pits and everything's just knocked up as quick as you like. it does mean that you're never really at risk of losing anything but speed when it comes to this, so it's all about hindering others rather than anything else. I mean, it always seems like a double penalty though. Being hit by a bubble and then being forced to go into a pit. There's very little you can do to avoid hitting them as well. Here's my favourite power-up actually. They've got the safety car out. So the safety car will drive in front of the first place chap, slowing him down, allowing everyone else to catch up. It's a bit of a nice. It's just a bit nicer than something like the blue shell, shall we say? Again, retreating back to Mario Kart, because it doesn't necessarily penalise the racers, but just gives everyone else a chance to properly use the elastic band and catch up. Oh, caught in the line. Nice little shot of the Diddy F1 car there. How do we do? As you can see, they've actually got some ladies in here. Jessica Checker. I don't know if she's an actual racer from America or not. And Kira down in 11th. But at least it tries to redress the balance of the male-dominated world. What are we off to now? Germany. So whereas Italy was all full of colosseums, Germany's full of Oompa music and castles. There we go. I still got that. That's great. I'm actually. Oh. No. Still starting at the back. Where are we off to now? Oh. There's shortcuts everywhere. You probably saw some of the races. Disappearing off to the left there as they cut through the forest. And it can really make a difference. I'll probably whinge about it shortly, but some racers can just head off into the distance and there's nothing you can do to bring them back because they just nab the shortcut and no amount of power-ups is going to bring them back. Yeah, in fact you can see on the right hand side, I don't think I've played particularly badly in this initial start, but they seem to be miles away. Back shortcut. There goes the red shell. Yeah, we're off to on the autobahn. And dodging in between traffic. I'm sure this would actually liven up normal F1 if this was the case. See if you can fit it between a family camper van and an Aston Allegro. Ooh, some green shell magnets there. These those blue strips are a nice little addition. They represent the is it the DRS? Which one's the battery boost? But basically you have to tap your accelerator as you go through and you slowly fill up your battery at the back of the car. That's a bit of skill. Let's go this way. Where are they going? Oh. Cue my wing falling off. Where on earth have I ended up? Oh, let's get some DRS. There we go. Bit of a boost to see us off. So I'd like to say that I think I'm losing because I'm actually talking, but I've actually found F1 Superstars to be incredibly random in how it all pans out. There's certain races where you can just go streaking ahead and no one can catch you. And there's ones that you just get left in the middle of the pack, and there's nothing you can do but eat a load of bubbles and orbs sent from behind, and get everyone just boosting past you. That said, the flip side is I've been 11th going into the last corner and somehow managed to win it. It doesn't seem as nicely balanced as some other karting games. Let's go into the pits, see if I can repair this mess. Ah, straight out of the pit, and straight away my car's been destroyed. Oh, there's madness going on ahead. And been hit from behind. Brilliant. So as we come to the last corner, I am dead last. Are we gonna get some DRS? Oh, KERS even. It's KERS, not DRS. Ah! I'm gonna sneak a place? No. Shocking. And my car's falling to bits as well. Oh, supposedly I didn't even finish. Last across the line. But honestly, and this is hopefully I'll win the next one to prove that I'm not actually just sucky at this, but there does seem to be a complete one extreme or the other when it comes to superstars. You can either just streak ahead, or you're just constantly fighting around at the back of the pack, and seemingly with no reason what you've done differently. It's just almost like the AI is either too random, or some have been classed as too good and they just streak off with every shortcut, never getting hit behind. Where are we now? Belgium. Let's just skip all this and get straight to the deal. Start playing with the helmet mark. At least it's starting me at the front. Took a pity on my poor performance last time. Okay, let's go. Just get one in. Oh, slippery track. Brilliant. Ah, I missed the pits. There is at least a nice variety of routes that you can take through. It's going badly. If I had more time, I'd just stop the recording now, come back and take only the ones that are actually doing well. Those two. Okay, let's go into the pits, recover. Well, still third, I suppose that's alright. Started out in front of the pack. Let's take her down. There we go. And safety car out in front. Yeah. At least we're able to catch up with Nico. And kick him that way. Some power-ups are plenty, and I think I'd enjoy it more if they actually seem to do more than bounce. There don't seem to be many effective ones. There's quite an interesting little teleport that you can get if you're too far behind. Apart from that, it's just bubbles, bubbles, bubbles. Because I actually seem to be reasonably far out in front, so expect some elastic abandoned cars to ping past me in a minute now. I cannot stand it when they lose. in other well-known plumbing-based racing games. I'm sure I'll be a whole host of red and blue shells raining down on me at this point. Actually, one of them is making a bit of a comeback. Let's fire something back at them. We're in the rapids. Okay, here we go. There we go, at least that proves that I don't completely suck. Belgium expert. Eat it. Let you enjoy some of the rather cheesy retro music. Just glory at my win. Well, let's reclaim some positive positions. Let's not replay it. So it's not just pure out-and-out racing that is available. They've at least taken the spirit of the party game and added a few odds and sods. So let's just back out. And somewhere around here, let's try play. What have we seen? Let's go for Japan. It's a bit of a roller coaster. Keep it fast. Race. Yep. They're gonna. Well, I thought I was going to allow me some options. Oh well, we'll count here. But there's a few different modes. There are ones, well, obviously things like time trial, but there's also aspects where you can go around collecting trophies, and the person with the most trophies, and these are just littered across the track, they win. The person who stays out in front longest wins. Sectors, so the faster you go on a sector, the more points you get through it. It mixes things up and definitely gives a different slant on proceedings. I know, having played this with Ali, that occasionally those ones, especially the trophy collecting, levels the playing field an awful lot. It's not just who can go faster, it's who can drive through the trophies fastest. And obviously if you're behind, you get the chance to pick up all the other ones that are missed by those in front. But it's a weird little selection, because a lot of these tend to favour whoever is out in front, and it's just so hard to try and pull them away from that lead. And so power-ups tend to be ridiculously ineffective for the most part. I don't want to be. It's actually quite a nice effort. Like, the entire thing is well put together and it's well presented. It just has a few niggles. I don't know whether this was the feel they were going for, but I think like corners are probably one thing that I'm not a great fan of, because there's no, as you've probably seen, there's no sliding around. You just have to brake and turn to go around them. But in that sense, it gets rid of the arcadey feel, and they feel like there should be something more to help you propel yourself around. Like this one, I'm gonna have to. It's a fast corner. Ignore the ball. It's a fast corner, and yet I have to brake to go around it, and it just feels slightly wrong. It's something you get used to, but it feels just a bit erroneous as you going hell for leather. You try and build your cursor, and then bam, you have to pull on the brakes. It doesn't quite have the grace that some of even the Little Big Planet karting that I've played recently. Some of theirs got some really nice sweeping corners, but here, like here, jam on the brakes, coast round. I mean, it does set it apart from the slew of other. Actually, there's not that many around at the moment. Oh, what? The other casual race that around here. Oh god, no! This is my most hated part. Jam on the brakes. Unless it gives you a curse to try and get back, but almost too fast. if they just fixed that, I think I would enjoy it an awful lot more. Or just even tweak the track design so that you don't have to... I'm changing my voices as I have to try to slam the brakes on. So you don't have to slam the brakes on. Just make the tracks a bit more sweeping. There we go. Safety car trying to pull me back. Oh, sliding is the thing. Let's get rid of that and get a new one. How has someone got... I haven't even seen anyone overtake me. How are they ahead? Ah. Follow the track. No, go off-road. You can probably tell by the way I just fire off these power-ups. I think very little of any of them other than the boost. Oh, someone's close by. Not what you want. Ah, yes, swine. Let's go through the pits then. Amazing how much time you can lose just with a broken back wing. Ah. Missing the dolls. Here we go, brakes. Get the curves up. Boom. When we get through, just. Oh, there we go there. That's the finishing straight. Hopefully no one will teleport past us. Boom. I should stop saying that. Is there going to be any way to change how we race? Custom event. Let's try this. Show you. Well, the elimination is the last person standing goes out. Refuel is actually quite an interesting one. You have to try and collect petrol as you go around, so your tank is constantly eating. Let's give this a quick blast. Let's try someone else. Let's try. Well, actually, they've both got very big eyebrows. Let's go with Jensen. That robot's there is what my horn sounds like. We're back in Belgium. So one thing that I don't know if it comes across in the audio of this hands-on, but although there's an awful lot of engine noise and background music, the actual experience of being one of the F1 drivers and everyone around is quite hollow. It almost seems like there's a soundtrack playing over the race itself, and these lot are just existing in there. There seems very little banter, very little powerful noises when you fire power-ups. It's they do seem like completely separate entities, and just a bit, I suppose, hollow. It just feels a bit hollow. I think if I look back at the noise of a Koopa shell running at me, or even like when Sackboy activates his power-ups, I get the feeling there's an actual gusto behind them, whereas the soundtrack and the racers just sort of float around each other. It's almost like there's two separate complete entities. Right, enough watering back to the race itself, but again, there's a slipstream there. So as you can see, I've got my fuel gauge. Oh, it's flashing red now. So the less fuel you have, the faster you go. However, obviously there's a risk that you have to drive into power-ups to get fuel. But it's the risk and reward that really makes this probably my favourite of all the modes that's around there. For one, it gives you a chance of trying to keep up with the front, knowing that they can't go too far ahead. So eventually you'll have to take on fuel. Right, let's go into the pits. Get out the way. I like to live on the edge though, so I'm going to let that fuel tick right down. Ah, the lack of handling around the corners. Oh, we stole my fuel. I could be in trouble now. Riding that rapid. Jump. Right, I need some fuel. There we go. Let's do Uno. The rest of this lap to catch up. Oh, I'm almost empty again. Where are they? They're miles ahead of me. Ah, there they are. And I managed to stick myself with my own bland balloon. I got enough juice in me to get over the line. There we go. At least snatched a podium. And so there you have it. That is F1 Superstars. It's I think in principle it's really nice. I think the way that they've captured the drivers and turned them into the caricatures and the mini cars is really good, and the tracks that they've pulled out have a lot of character and quite unique. It's just that the handling isn't amazingly satisfying, and the same goes for the rather lackluster and repetitive power-ups. If this obviously offers something a little different from their normal simulation version of F1, and if you like F1 and kart race, then it could be a reasonable party game for you. But it seems it's just not coherent enough to bring it all together. But yeah, it's not bad by any means. It's a good first stab, shall we say. So, F1 Superstars.